The man dug out a hand from the sand. He immediately picked up the pace because a child was buried inside. The rescue team got a call a moment ago. An 8-year-old fell into a sand pit. The captain rushed to the scene. Seeing the kid's dad using a shovel, the captain shoved him aside, started digging barehanded. Turns out, using tools recklessly could hurt the kid. The rest of the team arrived. They slapped some boards on the surface, stuck dividers all around to keep the sand pile from caving in again. After many shovels, a little hand finally emerged. Following the captain's lead, everyone pitched in. Finally, the kid's head was uncovered. A firefighter handed over an oxygen tank, put a mask on the kid. After a few minutes, the kid suddenly gasped for air. Dad hears the kids up, rushes to the sand pile, but the firefighters put the brakes on him. Looks like this dad still hasn't learned his lesson. What a poor kid.
The man was suspended in midair. The firefighter tried to grab his hand. However, just moments ago, 6 workers were left hanging midair. Due to a scaffolding malfunction, the firefighters only have 2 ladders, and each ladder can only rescue 2 people at a time. Just as the firefighter comforted the man hanging precariously from ropes, he shouted to save his crew first and not worry about him.
Get my crew first! Get them down! I'm the foreman. I go last.
Everyone was moved by the man's selfless spirit. Now, only the man was left. The captain decided to save him on his own. He climbed to the top of the ladder, but was still slightly out of reach. The captain extended his hand. The man suddenly slipped, nearly falling, causing everyone below to watch in suspense. The airbag below wasn't fully inflated. If the man fell from that height, he would be in serious danger. The captain encouraged the man to reach out his hand.
Reach, give me a hand. Give me a hand. Reach out. Reach.
The captain watched the man fall and regretted it deeply. Doctors put some lubricant on the woman's belly. Then, just a moment ago, the woman had come to the fire station, hoping the firefighters could help her deliver her baby. Because her water had already broken, she sat down on the ground and covered herself with a blanket. But during the checkup, the doctor realized that the baby wasn't in the right position. Without proper equipment, the firefighters had to help by hand.
One more big push, Nancy.
The woman, veins popping on her face, pushed with all her strength. Finally, the baby was born. She took the baby from the firefighter. Both mom and baby were safe. Would you have your baby at a fire station? A man stuck a 3,000-degree iron rod up his nose, just to stop a nosebleed. Today is his younger brother's funeral, but because his brother loved drinking, family turned the funeral into a party, with alcohol flowing. Dad and aunt started arguing, and when big brother stepped in to stop them, he got punched, nose bleeding badly. Dad just laughed, saying a drink would fix it, and handed him a glass. Big brother drank it all, but the blood wouldn't stop flowing. Dad then grabbed a hot iron rod and handed it to his own son.
Right up in there.
How much money would it take for you to put a hot iron rod up your nose? Poor paramedic was threatened by the terrorist.
Fix it, and I won't kill you.
The girl had to treat his wound. To buy time, she deliberately removed the glass shards slowly, causing the blood to flow out quickly. Then she lied to the man. An arterial tourniquet was needed to stop the bleeding. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to take more than 5 steps before collapsing. She dared him to try if he didn't believe her. The man believed her and let her bandage him.
Just hurry the hell up. You got 5 minutes, and then you're useless to me.
The girl pretended to search for a medication in her bag. Then, while the man was not paying attention, she sprayed an unknown liquid directly into his eyes. The man, furious, hurriedly chased after her.
Help! Maddie's got a gun!
The woman in pale seemed to be asking for help, but before the firefighters could react, the man paid the bill and pushed the woman out of the restaurant. The firefighters wanted to stop him,
Hey!
but he drove away directly. They chased the car immediately. The black firefighter suspected the woman who asked for help just quarreled with her boyfriend. They may overreact.
Brad, what do you think this is? Like a domestic situation or human trafficking? I don't know. She looked right at me and mouthed the words, "Help me," and the guy wasn't paying attention.
They followed the car to a warehouse. At the moment, the man pushed the woman out of the door. The woman didn't want to get in the car, but the man pulled out a knife to threaten her, so she had to comply. Seeing the man was about to drive away, the firefighters decided to take action and block the man's car directly. The man, realizing he couldn't get out, revved the engine and rammed the car once, twice, and a third time. The police arrived in time and arrested the nut finally. The scoreboard suddenly fell, but the kids were still swimming in the pool. The lifeguard outside got electrocuted and fell down. But luckily the wires hadn't fallen into the pool yet. The children in the water were temporarily safe. But just as the firefighters were getting the kids to swim over, a boy swam towards the wires. The firefighters had no choice but to jump into the pool to rescue him. But just as they were pulling the unconscious lifeguard out, the wires suddenly swung. The firefighters finally caught up with the boy and safely brought him back to land. However, the firefighter couldn't get out because his clothes were too heavy. The wires were about to fall into the water. With all his strength, the firefighter finally lifted his legs out of the water before the wires fell in. Here's a question: does water conduct electricity or N?
This boy is getting his first taste of the ocean, but a tsunami decides to join the party. Thank the stars for Bran. Dad's ride or die. He scoops up the kid and starts hauling. But seriously, who thinks they can outrun a tsunami on foot? The man struggles in the sea. Finally, he manages to pop up, but the kid's vanished. He's yelling the kid's name. The boy is clutching onto a pole. Bran swims over, but the waves are playing hard to get, right when they're about to tag team. The man grabs a piece of driftwood and barely puts on the brakes. But now, the kid's grip gives out. It looks like he's about to ride the wave. Without a second thought, the man takes a dive. This time, he's holding on to that kid. It's his best bud's kid. If things went sideways, he's got zero clue how he'd face his friend. The woman's leg is stuck in the hole. Simultaneously, a large bus approached. Firefighters quickly positioned themselves in front of the vehicle. Other team members rushed over too. Despite the efforts of 2 firefighters, they were unable to pull the woman's leg free. The asphalt even scratched her thigh. The firefighters had no choice but to carefully dig her leg out bit by bit. The team medic quietly warned, if not handled properly, the woman might lose her entire leg.
Did you just say lose my leg? Is that true?
The woman's emotions were gradually spiraling out of control. Why did all the misfortunes have to happen in one day? It turns out, her best friend is moving away, but she has already fallen in love with her. Just then, the best friend arrives. The woman finally pours out her feelings.
More than just friend feelings and...
Unexpectedly, the best friend kissed her directly. It turns out, she harbored the same feelings. With the support of her girlfriend, the woman's leg was finally pulled free. Do you still dare to look at your phone while walking? The kid is bouncing on the trampoline. Out of the blue,
911, what's your emergency?
911 rolls up. Captain Cool discovers the lady's hand and waist, doing a tango with the trampoline springs. She's frozen, not daring to twitch a muscle. The guy asks can she wiggle those fingers. Turns out, she's got finger freedom. Trampoline missed the nerve memo. Even the spring on her backside didn't pull a ninja move on her spine. Lucky break. Next up, the firefighters whip out a chainsaw. They chop the whole darn door off, lady included, and whisk her away to the hospital. At the hospital, the son hands her the phone and spills the beans. She's been accidentally live streaming this trampoline circus. Instant 1 million followers. The lady's pumped, telling her son, we're hitting the jackpot.